Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm in the process of building a client commission, which is a fairly tall 82-inch roughly white oak armoire dresser. You'll see here in the plans that it has 2 doors and a number of drawers, 4 8-inch drawers on each side, a 7 and a 6. These are going to be running on wooden drawer slides. I really hate putting in metal drawer slides. Wood slides, if they're done properly, nice coat of paste wax, they run really smoothly. So these are going to all have dados that run on these. The sides are dadoed into the top and bottom, and then rabbets for the drawer slides. There's a center panel which will have dados on both sides. So it's fairly complicated. And again, I've got 4 faces, both sides and then both sides of the center divider, where I've got to make sure that all these dados and rabbets are exactly even to the millimeter. So one thing that's used a lot in home construction on higher quality home builders are storyboards. The idea is very simple, is that you mark on one board, which I have an offcut here, you mark all your dimensions. So every dado, every rabbet, you mark it on one board, you work it out on your plan, and then you just mark it on the board. So I'll mark it around on all 4 sides. I'll use a square and make sure that they're the same on every single panel. I don't measure each panel. The first thing I'm going to do is put some blue tape on my storyboard. That's going to allow me to mark more cleanly on here. So the first thing I've done, and again I've just shown you the plan, is the side is going to be on a rabbet into the top, 3/8 of an inch. And then from there, there's going to be a 1-inch high oak board, which is going to be a valance, because I'm having LED lighting that's on the back side of the valance to point down. So I've marked in 3/8 of an inch for my dado, and then from there, I've marked down 1 inch for my valance. So now I'm going to draw a line across here for the 1 inch and the 3/8. The advantage of the blue tape is obviously I can mark on this. So one thing I've done in marking these dimensions for my required drawer fronts on the story pole is I'm actually making them 8 inches plus a 1/16, 7 inches plus a 1/16, and 6 inches. So what I'm doing is I'm building in room for a nice tiny even gap of 1/16 inch between each drawer. The client really wants as much drawer space as possible. Now that I've marked all my drawers and the 16-inch gap between each, I now know the space I have between the top dado, the top valance, which is going to hide the LED for the top shelf. So from this point on to this point, this is what I have for 3 valances and 3 shelves. So I can do the math, see what's left, make sure it works out, and then I will continue to mark that on the story pole. And this will be my Bible. This will be what I use. I will not use a tape measure. I will use this to mark for when I use my router and my router sled to cut my dados. So now I've marked on my story pole all my exact dimensions. So I've got the rabbet that's going to go into the top. I've got my 1-inch top valance. Now I have the story pole marked with the valance section and also the 3/4-inch shelf itself. This will allow me to be very accurate when I lay out each shelf on the sides and the center portion. I'll be able to do the top, middle, and bottom shelf sections very accurately. The shelf will run across and obviously will fit into both sides into those dados. I will also have all of the components on this story pole. So you'll see now that I have the shelf, 3 shelves, and then I have all the drawer sections with all the details. And again, using the story pole, these will be exactly the same when I mark them on the 2 sides and the center section, eliminating errors that I might have using a tape measure. So now you should have a good idea of how helpful a story pole can be. Again, this has been used in fine home building for many, many years. Again, because it takes out the error prone using a tape measure, and you get all your dimensions on here and everything is fixed, and you can go from side to side, and in my case also for the center panel. So thanks so much for watching. Please send me questions. I love answering questions from subscribers and viewers. Please subscribe and like the video. It really helps the channel. And I'll see you on the next video. There'll be a video coming out on the first steps of this white oak dresser.